I was around professional musicians, it's true, much of my adult life. And I was never really tempted to make a record. I was never really tempted to be a professional musician in that way. And I suppose you need a very good reason to do something, but no very good reason not to do something. You need a good reason to become an astronaut or a baseball player or a bishop or something, but nobody says, why didn't you become a bishop or an astronaut? There's no reason, really, for which I didn't make a record. You wake up Monday morning and you think to yourself, should I make a record today? And the answer is no. And you wake up Tuesday and you have the same answer. Tell me, what have I done? Tell me, what have I done? Tell me, what have I done? I'm my mama's angel child. I was born in Montreal, Canada, in 1947. My parents are both Russian. Born in Russia, came to Canada in the 20s. The first neighborhood I lived in was downtown, perfectly Jewish. I don't think I saw anybody who wasn't Jewish until I was 20. We played in Yiddish on the streets. By an odd set of circumstances, we had Woody Guthrie and Leadbelly 78s in the house. And it's because at the end of the war, or maybe towards the end of the war too, Ash Stinson Records put out a series of recordings. The money they collected for these recordings went to the Russian relief. And they were favorites of mine, even when I was a little kid. And then the Weavers came into the household. There was something about them that I think that lefty Jews sympathized with. So Pete Seeger found his way into the household. It was a vast influence on my psychology. I adored him. I got a banjo when I was 13. I don't think there were more than 3 or 4 banjo players in all of Montreal at the time. So it was more or less impossible to learn how to play. My best friend at the time, who was an alto to my winning soprano, got a guitar. And this, so we bored each other and we bored everybody in the neighborhood. And then I borrowed his guitar and learned how to play that a little bit. Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee used to come to Montreal regularly, and they played, funnily enough, in a club in my neighborhood. And when I heard Sonny Terry play the harmonica, I thought, yeah, for $2, I can invest in one and try to learn how to play it. There was a little group, before there were bands, there were groups. In Montreal, the group that Kate and Anna played in was called the Mountain City Four. And that became something of a running gag because there were seldom only 4 people in this group. The membership in the group was pretty loose. It included boyfriends and other friends, and somebody played the fiddle, all right, you can be in the group. No, it never occurred to me to have any career as a musician. Really, music was just our social life. It's what we did. It's how we got along. Go and dig my grave, both long and narrow. Make my coffin neat and strong. Go and dig my grave, both long and narrow. Make my coffin neat and strong. Well, it's toot-toot to my head, it's toot-toot to my feet. It's toot-toot to carry me, Lord, whenever I die. Well, it's toot-toot to my head, it's toot-toot to my feet. It's toot-toot to carry me, Lord, whenever I think when I was growing up, all of us knew that we were going to university. I studied philosophy at McGill and found it to my liking. I went to graduate school in England at London University, where I taught for a year. And then a job opened up in Montreal teaching philosophy. I was homesick, so I took it and worked there very happily for 150 years. Kate became a professional musician. This was going on, I suppose, while I was in England. And I think it must have been the mid-70s, 75, 76, something like that, that she and Anna put out their first record, wonderful record. And, you know, the old Montreal crowd came down to New York to hoot and howl and play on it. And then, yeah, when I happened not to be teaching and Kate and Anna would go on tour, I think I'd go with them. And I could take off a bit of time to do recording, and especially if the recording was being done in Montreal. And then when they started touring, there was no idea that I would tour with them. I just happened to be in London when they were doing their first London show. And for old time's sake, I joined the band and never left it.
Just one kiss from your sweet lips will tell me that your love is real. I know that it's true. We will vow to one another there will never be another love for you or for me.
There was an album that Loudon was recording in London that Richard Thompson was producing. And I think I just hung around the studio for the last bits of that. And then the album after that, Richard and I produced. And the album after that, Loudon and I produced. So by then, of course, I was playing with Loudon.
In Delaware when I was younger, they thought St. Andrew had sufficed. But in the spring I had great hunger. I was Buddha, I was Christ. You wicked wise men, where's your wonder? One day will pay. See my lightning in my thunder. I am truth, I know.
Joe Boyd produced a tribute to Kate, and Callum McCall was the guitar player on this tribute. So I met him then. And after that, there was a show of political songs, and that was the McCall brothers. It's because of that they asked me to come and play on the concert celebrating the centenary of their father. Ewan McCall was one of my heroes. I grew up thinking of Ewan McCall as other people grow up thinking of Paul McCartney. This is a wonderful writer, beautiful singer.
Jim Evans was a prisoner, fast in his prison cell, and those who read about his crimes, they damned his soul to hell, saying, "Go down, you murderers, go down." For the murder of his own dear wife and the killing of his own child, the jury found him guilty, and the hanging judge, he smiled. Go down, you murderers, go down. Jim Evans innocent, and he swore by him on high. never killed his own dear wife, nor caused his child to die. Go down, you murderer, go down.
For years, when Kate and Anna sang Mendocino, it was done as a trio. It was me and Kate and Anna. And Anna and I were on the wings, listening to, I can't remember, Martha, Nora Jones, and Emmylou Harris or somebody singing Mendocino. And Anna said, "Remember when we used to sing that?" Oh, as if I could forget. I can think only with shudder of how my life might have turned out had they not been in it.
I bid farewell to the state of old New York, my home away from home. In the state of New York I came of age, when first I started roaming. And the trees grow high in New York State, and they shine like gold in autumn. Never had the blues from whence I came, but in New York State I caught 'em. Talk to me of Mendocino. Closing my eyes, I hear the sea. Must I wait? Must I follow? Won't you say, come